Take a look at this PTE reading passage, question 1169. When you encounter a full block of text like this, the first instinct is to try and read the whole thing to understand every single word. But solving these blanks actually relies on spotting structural patterns. Let's focus strictly on the first blank and its four options: start, have started, starting, and started. To figure out the correct verb form, we look at the surrounding text to establish our timeline. Right before the blank, the text states early humans were hunter-gatherers, and their movements were controlled. We are firmly in the past tense. Because our chronological anchor is set in the past, we can immediately eliminate the present perfect have started and the present participle starting. That leaves us with the simple past tense, started, to neatly match the surrounding verbs. Grammatical tense acts as an absolute filter here. If the timeline doesn't match, the word is incorrect, regardless of how it sounds when you read it aloud. Moving to the second blank, we find options like so and consequently. Logically, both words indicate a result. This is a deliberate trap. The deciding factor is grammar, specifically punctuation. Notice the simple comma right before the blank. The word consequently is a conjunctive adverb, meaning it requires a semicolon or a completely new sentence to be grammatically correct here. A comma, however, needs a coordinating conjunction. Knowing that rule, we can drop consequently and safely select so. Let's look at blank 3. If you only read this specific sentence, you suffer from tunnel vision. It lacks the timeline needed to choose between a meticulous study or a long history. To find the missing context, use a forward reading technique. The next sentence mentions the oldest known dam was constructed about 5,000 years ago. That 5,000-year timestamp anchors the meaning, giving water resources a long history. This phrase is a high-frequency PTE collocation, highly useful to memorize. The mechanics of this exam dictate that grammatical rules are triggered by microscopic details, like commas. Meanwhile, finding logic for a blank requires macro-level forward scanning into adjacent sentences. Now for the fourth blank. Pause the video for a moment and see if you can pick the correct word based on relative pronouns. When referring back to an inanimate object or thing in this grammatical structure, which is the only valid relative pronoun. We cross out as, what, and whatever, and slot which right in. Relative pronouns function as direct structural tethers. They must attach cleanly to the closest preceding noun. Looking back at the completed text, we solved the entire passage step by step using a repeatable methodology. Let's review the toolkit. Rule 1. Check surrounding verbs to ensure tense matches the timeline. Rule 2. Let punctuation guide your choice of conjunctions. Rule 3. Read ahead to establish logical context. Rule 4. Strictly match relative pronouns to adjacent nouns. Securing high accuracy on PTE reading tasks means treating the passage less like a piece of literature to be interpreted and more like a mechanical checklist of logical rules. Take this framework and apply it directly to your next practice test.